The moment I stepped onto the rooftop, I knew. Their laughter, light and easy just seconds before, stopped the instant they saw me. My wife, Mira, her father, her brother, two men in tailored suits I didn't recognize. 5 chairs, 5 wine glasses, 5 plates of lobster tails glistening under warm candlelight, and not a single seat for me. Her father didn't even pretend to mask his satisfaction. He lifted his glass toward the skyline, that same sneer curling on his lips. "Maybe a cheap bar suits you better," he said. I didn't react. No flinch, no scowl. I smiled, calm, poised, deliberate. Then I turned to the waiter and asked quietly, confidently, "Could you send the owner over?" Because the owner was me. I used to think he was just overprotective. A man from another generation, proud and principled. Maybe even a little harsh, but nothing unusual. When I first met Mira, she warned me. "He's intense," she'd said. "Traditional." I saw it as a challenge. At every family dinner, I listened more than I spoke. I dressed to impress, suits I could barely afford, carefully measuring every gesture for respect, nodding at his opinions, laughing at jokes that landed like lead. I swallowed his jabs, brushed off the test, and told myself I was earning his approval. For a while, I even believed it. Then came the wedding. He didn't pay a cent. He walked Mira down the aisle like he was handing over something he owned. And at the reception, when he stood to make a toast, he spoke only of his daughter. He didn't even mention me. Not once. Still, I let it go. That's what love does. Or used to. But betrayal doesn't come with a bang. It comes slowly in whispers and shadows. There were delays in payments from clients I had personally brought into the family business. Mira's glances during meetings, cold and unreadable. Emails never reaching me. Memos mysteriously forgotten. It felt like sand slipping through my fingers. Then one night, she asked me to print something from her laptop. I opened the screen, clicked the document, and saw it. The group chat, left open behind it like a careless confession. Her brother, "Fool thinks he's a partner now." Her father, "Don't worry. He'll be working under us soon enough." That was the moment. Not the years of condescension. Not the lies. That sentence, "working under us." That was the fracture point. So I smiled. I closed the laptop. I said nothing. From then on, I played the part, the obedient son-in-law, the loyal colleague. I shook hands, took meetings, laughed with them as they mocked competitors, and patted each other on the back. They thought I was still trying to earn their approval. But I was building something else entirely. First, I started small. I bought a quiet stake in one of their competitor bars. Nothing flashy, just enough to gain insight. Then another, then a third. Slowly, quietly, I acquired a failing rooftop venue no one wanted, the very one they sat on now, and poured everything into it. Silence, money, strategy. I befriended the health inspector. A decent man, not one for bribes, but loyal to those who treated him with dignity. I dug into their company's finances, peeling back layers to expose over-leveraged loans, hidden debts, terrible management. I waited. 6 months passed. Then a year. When the time was right, I made 2 phone calls. One to the inspector. One to the owner of the building where their family business held its lease. Tonight, I made the 3rd call to this rooftop. Mine now. So when I asked the waiter for the owner, and he turned to me with a knowing smile, I saw it. That flicker behind her father's eyes. That moment of realization. Of dread. What's this?" he stammered, the arrogance slipping. I leaned forward slightly, rested my fingertips on the table. It's rude to throw a dinner on someone else's property without inviting them, don't you think? He blinked, his mouth parting, confusion racing to catch up with reality. Mira's eyes locked onto mine. Her lips parted too, but with no words. Just a slow, blooming horror. I turned to the waiter, closed their tab. He nodded. Simple. Professional. Her father stood abruptly, voice rising. "What game is this?" "No game," I said. "Just house rules." He laughed, but there was no confidence behind it. "You don't own this place." "Not the old place. This one. Bought it last month. Rebranded it. Looks like your assistant missed a memo." His wine glass at the table, a little too hard. I didn't blink. Careful, I said coolly. We don't serve threats here. Mira stood slowly, her voice fragile, raw. Why? Why would you do this? I looked at her for a long time. Her eyes, once warm, now wide and wet. I reached into my pocket and placed a black envelope gently on the table. Inside, copies of their group messages, account statements, the letter of resignation from their company. Not mine, theirs, because they had never let me be a part of it. What they didn't know, what they never suspected, was that they had never been a part of mine. By the time they rose, trying to preserve what dignity they had left, the health inspector had already arrived at their restaurant below. Temporary closure, sanitation issues, their lease for the office space, terminated, effective immediately. They walked past me without a word, shoulders slumped, faces tight with disbelief and bitterness. Her father didn't look back. Couldn't, but Mira did. Tears shimmered in her eyes, trailing down her cheeks. Regret? Anger? I couldn't tell. I didn't care. You planned all this, she whispered, her voice barely more than breath. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. I turned away, walked to the table they'd vacated, and sat down in her father's empty chair. I picked up his untouched wine glass and raised it slightly to the night sky. To cheap bars, I murmured. Then I drank, and I felt nothing, only peace.